switch it over to another one of my favorite subjects that I'm super passionate about, because I am so excited. I am going to Arizona and I'm going to be speaking at the conference at APLGO. And if anyone here is listening from Arizona, yesterday I had the pleasure of speaking to a wonderful lady who says she will be joining us, and I just met her. And she lives in Arizona, so you never know. Just April 25th, 26th, 27th. Actually, it's the 26th and the 27th that the event is on. Linda and I will be there. And I can't wait to see her because I get to meet her daughter. So I'm super excited. And this is Vanna White is here with her box. I can see it already. And by Vanna White, I mean Nikki. And I know that Linda has to get back to work. So I'm going to let Linda speak first before I even bring up APLGO, which is an amazing product that Linda introduced me to just a little over 2 years ago. Since then, I have made a lot of people happy and a lot of people healthier. And I have won 5 trips with the company in just a little over 2 years. 5 is a big number when it comes to winning trips, people. I'm an entrepreneur. I pay for everything. I pay for this pen. I pay for every single little piece of paper that I have, everything. Nobody buys me anything. When I win a trip, I'm excited because who's going to give you a free anything when you're an entrepreneur? Pretty much no one, right? You're stuck buying everything on your own. 5 trips for free. And I get to make people feel good and myself. I've helped myself age backwards with this wonderful necklace. There is a quartz crystal in here with volcanic ash from Japan. And I can't remember the rest of the ingredients, but this makes me feel better. I'm going to have Amanda talk about this in a bit, but I want Linda to speak because I don't know when she has to get back. So
no, I'm good.
Oh, yay. Okay.
I've locked out a little bit of time today. So excellent. We're on Facebook, so I'll be able to be careful.
All good. I want Amanda because I know she just had a recent experience with this. So I'd really like her to comment on this. Go for it, Amanda.
So I actually, last weekend, I suffer from anxiety, especially social anxiety. And I've had my necklace on since I got it, which has been a few months, but I needed to clean it because I started just noticing it needed to get clean. So I decided to take it off and clean it. And it was like the second that I took it off that I noticed that my emotions were different. I was more anxious, less grounded, and I noticed that right away. So I tried to endure for 24 hours because I was like cleansing it and washing it and things like that, but I literally had to put it back on. So it does make a difference, especially for me, my experience. It helps me immensely with my anxiety and just feeling calmer in general. So that was my experience last weekend with my necklace, and I'm not taking it off. So if I have to clean it, it's just going to be a quick clean and back on because it didn't, I noticed a huge difference.
Oh, that's awesome, Amanda.
Awesome. Absolutely amazing. And tell us some of the other products that you use, Amanda.
Oh, and then I actually, because I had no power for 6 days, we had a big storm in Southern Ontario in Canada, where Marianne and I are from. And I didn't have any power, and I ended up getting sick because it's cold here. Very, very cold. It was like -5. I could see my breath in my house. It was awful, but I endured it. But I ended up getting a small cold. I woke up and my nose was a little stuffy and things like that. So out came the GRW and the alt and the air. And so what that actually did for me was, normally when I used to get sick before I started taking the products, I would be sick for anywhere from 5 days to 10 days. And I would have to get antibiotics and steroids, and I'm on cough syrup and taking cough medicine that made me groggy and just not feeling well at all. And you're already fatigued when you're not feeling good. So out came the GRW, and that what is our number one seller. It's our immune booster, and it is a AAA rated product, award-winning product. And it was during 2020 when all of the stuff worldwide was going on. That product won an award. So I noticed for me, when I took the three, the alts, the air and the GRW together, my cold literally lasted 2 days. I didn't get a cough. All I got was a little bit of a headache, gone within 24 hours, a little bit of sniffling. So this was Monday that I woke up sick. It's Friday. Do I look sick? Do I sound sick? Not at all. So those three together, powerful, powerful products. If you're somebody who can't afford to get sick, these products are going to help, because I run a business. I'm a busy mom. I can't afford to be down and sick for weeks at a time. And quite frankly, nobody likes to feel that way. So that was my experience just this week with those products. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, and we were talking about it, so I actually mentioned to her, I said, this is the perfect share, because this year in Canada has been the longest winter I've seen in numerous years. Like, it has just, and I know Linda lives in a similar climate because she's in Maryland and we're not that different. It's one of my favorite flights, Toronto to Maryland, under an hour. How beautiful. Mind you, I land in Dulles, which is DC-ish, and then it's a long hike to where I'm going in Maryland, but that's okay. Then I get to see this beautiful scenery. But yeah, that is hugely important. We've all avoided getting sick. I think we won one of the trips I won was Dominican, and we went to Dominican Republic right at the end of February, and Linda was there too. We were both there, and it was like, wow. I got sick about 6 days before I was about to leave. And I said, oh, no, I can't get sick. No. I'm not going sick on the airport. I'm not going. No. We're not doing this. And I basically had about 5 to 6 alts and one, and probably the same amount of air. I shouldn't say one, because it was probably alt and air. Do you have an alt and air to show, Nikki? These are the two. Oh, okay. Okay. There we go. Amanda almost has it.
Sorry, I'm always trying to figure this out.
Yeah, it's okay. Usually I try to take the shiny package off so that it shows better, but it's so hard. But anyway, those are two absolutely amazing products. In fact, when I joined and my package actually arrived, it was the alt, because it arrived like on a Thursday afternoon. Like Thursday afternoon. I had a really busy day. I just kind of put it on the floor because it was a big package, because I signed up for the diamond and I got a lot of everything. So I knew that everything I had in there, I had at least one of everything. I mean, I had 5 of everything, but I knew I had all the products. And I woke up sick the next day because I kind of tossed it aside, and I thought, okay, I'll have to get into this a little later. It was a crazy busy day. I think I didn't finish my day until like 11 o'clock at night. And I wake up in the morning and I can't breathe, and I've got this tickle. And Linda was the first person I called. I'm like, Linda, this is what I'm feeling. I just got my package. Which one do I take, and how many, and what do I do? And she's like, here, take the alt, take this, this. I don't think we had the air just yet. And I did. I took it, and she goes, don't be afraid to take, 5 or 6 in the day if that's what you need, or more. I did. And do you know what? I woke up the next morning, nothing. I was expecting a cough. I was expecting my usual bronchitis visit, because bronchitis was where I go to. Sinusitis and bronchitis. I could make a song from that. Those were my 2 go-tos. And no longer. I haven't had an outbreak of either of those 2 in the last 2 and a bit years since I've been using the product. So that's what I like about Alt and Air. I don't know if anyone else wants to talk about those two products, but
I do. So about a month and a half ago, we got a new rescue, and she we were supposed to have her go to the vet, and we couldn't get her into the vet to get the final paperwork and everything. Can you hear me okay? I realize I have my speaker on the other end, on the other side of my computer.
yes,
So if
yes.
you, and so I like the second or third day, she got up and she started with these reverse sneezes. And it sounds like a little hippopotamus. And she would snort. And you could see that it was a painful snort. You know how, and I said to my husband, I was like, oh my gosh, should we take her to the vet? I never had experienced a dog reverse sneeze like that. And it was kind of cute because it was like a little hippopotamus sound, but you could see that she wasn't real happy. And her poor eyes and nose was running. So I'm like, I'm going to try Alt and Air because my husband's like, well, we could take her to the vet. I don't know. And I was like, well, what's her symptoms? Within 2 days, Alt and Air, she has not sneezed like that since. And I just watch and see how sensitive she is because I don't know what allergies she has. She's only 3. And so spring's coming. I noticed this. She's home with me. It's pouring outside today. So I tried to get her outside right before this call. And she's like tippy-toeing in the grass. I'm like, okay, Twinkle Bells, we got to hurry this up. Take care of what you need to get in here. But this morning we just, because she snores, but I can't give her relax because she'll talk in her sleep and wake me up. I'm such a light sleeper. And she's in the other room, like basement of Craig on the same level, but way down the hall. And no relax during the day because she gets into this REM sleep and she just talks and chatters, and you go out and you think she's like awake and she's sound asleep.
Yeah.
But the All in Air saved me hundreds of dollars. And the vet's like, this is really serious. Please pay attention. Watch how much your eyes run and nose, eyes are watery and nose runs. And I was like, no, I got you there. I don't need any medicines that you're going to prescribe for that. I've got her.
Yeah.
And now,
before you move off that, I have had my cat getting really sick. We thought one was going to die. And in the middle of the night, we had no idea what to give her. Now people say to me, how do you give your cats these supplements? They're lozenges. So we dissolve them in water. And it was the middle of the night. I couldn't do what I usually do when I need to know which one to take and phone Marianne, because she wouldn't have been impressed. But the beauty was I could give these to my animals and know they're not going to harm them. They're only going to do good. So even if you're not sure what to give them, and I've currently got my other cat on them, and she now chooses to have her pellets soaked in the juice rather than her plain pellets. But I just wanted to emphasize that if you don't know what to give them of these supplements, it's not going to hurt them. And yes, you are not sitting there holding the candy while the cat licks it. You can dissolve it in the water and put it in their water. It has saved me a fortune in vet bills, an absolute fortune. And I believe, honestly, it saved my cat's life. I mean, Marianne knows I went through 4 days of going, cat's going to die. This cat's going to die. She wasn't eating. My cat didn't eat for 3 days. Didn't use the bathroom for 3 days. And from the candies, my cat, she just jumped off the chair next to me. So if you're an animal lover, if you're a nurturer, an N, this is something you want to know about. So sorry to interrupt, but that's on that.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect.
And I actually have a a dear friend who wears the pendant, and she took a shower one day and forgot to put it back on.
Mhm.
And she came back to me afterwards and she said, I woke up the next morning, my whole body was aching. And it wasn't that she was she was worse. It was that the pendant had helped her so much with what she hadn't been aware of beforehand. So when she took it off, she felt all of this. And just like Amanda, she says, I'm never taking it off. Taking it off.
It is good to wash it. I wash mine. I mean, we have a cloth that'll take it off, but I find that if I wash it with toothpaste, it just comes off like easier, and then it's cleaner. And then we have a full moon tomorrow, so you can put it out in the window. So tonight I'll put it out I'll wash it with the toothpaste. I'll put it out in the window and let it, I twist and turn a lot while I'm sleeping. So I just have it beside my bed. I also have two. So I purposely bought two. I have one, like this one that I'm wearing. I will put that beside my one night table, and then the other one just sits on the other night table all the time, and it just cleans my room for me all the time. So super important. And yes, we totally wanted to keep the momentum going about alt and air, just because that's what we're talking about, and 'tis the season, and now the allergy season is here. So allergies and colds, same symptoms. Okay, for me anyways. I used to be on a product that I won't say the name, that you could buy over the counter at the drugstore, and I used to take it for 3 months straight, like every day, 3 times a day. And when Linda introduced me to this, she's like, yeah, try the alt and see if that doesn't help. And then I was taking the alt, same thing, 3 times a day, but now I have this beautiful natural product made from the DNA of the plant, infused with negative ions, and it's 100% absorbable, and it's like eating an apple or grapes or whatever, like a fruit. And so that's the huge difference. Last year would have been my one. So I did that for 2 seasons. One spring season. Spring is always harder for me than fall for whatever reason. It's like 3 months of intensity, and then fall is a little lighter and it's shorter. It seems to be about 6 weeks to 2 months. And so I did that for those 2 seasons. And the 3rd season would have been the following year, which would have been last year in spring. I took half the dose, if not even less. Like, there were days that I didn't even take it. And there were days where I would take 1 or 2. And then there were days where that is unheard of. So I'm sort of waiting to see what happens this year. Because I could just feel my nose starting to get a little itchy. So I know I'm not free of the allergies quite yet. But honestly, I haven't even been taking alt every day. By now I would be taking, every day. So this is, with the other thing, I mean, we have so many different products that, we've cleaned up the microbiome, we've cleaned up the liver a little bit, we've cleaned up a lot of different things. And with Grow, I feel like Grow is our number one product sometimes, but it is the product that in 2020 won the award for the best immune booster in the world out of 423 products. So an amazing product, can't go wrong with it. I know Tammy has something to say about this product, as well as all of us, I'm sure. But that is also one of my favorite products. I too give all of my products not all of my products to my dog. I give him what he needs. So for my dog, I give him MLS, which will kill off parasites and clean up your microbiome. That's just the short version. I also give him Relax because he is neurotic and psychotic when he goes to get groomed and out of control. So I have to give him 2. 1 2 hours before we go, and 1 an hour before we go. And then I have to give him maybe 1 more, depending on what kind of day we're having. Sometimes I have to give him that if I'm leaving him at home. If we go to the vet, I have to give him some, unless he's drawing blood, then I don't want anything to be in there to interfere. But honestly, it helps so much. I've also given him SLD because he's 10 and a half years old. And sometimes on a rainy day or a snowstormy day, which we've had plenty of this year, I can see he starts to walk funny. You can tell there's some arthritis that's starting to build in him. So that one I've given him. And I did give him Alt one time because he too sneezes, dogs pick up whatever the owner has. So my dog's pretty healthy. He's not on any medication or anything, but yeah, he'll sneeze. Well, I'll start taking him down the hall and he'll start sneezing, which is funny. It's kind of, when dogs do what we do, it's kind of funny. But anyways, I'm going to let someone else talk. So who wants to be next?
I'll say one more quick thing about Alt and Air. Air was not available when I first got involved. And Kelly Vincent is who called me asking me to be a part of the company. So, and went under and to work with Julia. Julia and I have known each other for 25 plus years. I ran a financial business and she ran a graphic design business, and we would literally network within the same groups, the same organization, like a BNI, just different groups. So it's pretty crazy how that all worked. But I would end up with 3 or 4 sinus infections every year and need to be put on antibiotics. And I experienced that most of my life. And July of 2020, of course, at that time, my seasonal allergies are more in the spring. And so it wasn't, my first go-to was MLS because of my Lyme disease and parasites. But as my allergies started to kick in, that's when I added Alt, and because Air's only been with us for the last year. So, but I have not been to the doctors. I've not needed antibiotics since being on this product, and it'll be 5 years in July.
How beautiful is that? That in itself is worth it. So like these, all we're doing is sharing testimonials with you people so that you understand what some of this can do for you. Some people have bigger issues. Some people have smaller issues. I give it a lot to my dog. I know Linda gives it a lot to her dog. And I know that I know for sure that Nikki gives it to her cats, because I think that's what I also believe that they saved your cat's life, for sure. So I do want to hear from Rosemary. We haven't heard from her yet about Alt and Air. Did you want to say anything about Alt, or were you going to talk about something else?
With regards to the Alt and Air, actually, they were the first products that I was introduced to. I've been with APLGO about 1.5 years now, and I did have a lot of problems with breathing, with asthma, and just sinus issues. And after taking them, it took maybe a couple of days that I actually woke up in the morning and I felt different. I was breathing instead of being stuffed up and all of those things. And it was like, wow, shock to my body that this does really work. It was a blessing, because up till that point, I couldn't sleep. Every night I'm waking up trying to breathe. And that worked very well for me. Same with the Air. The Air was added bonus for me.
Okay, so let's go to Tammy for the grow, because I know she's got a story wrapped around that.
So many stories. But you introduced these products to me. I was that girl that didn't have any ailments in my life. I just know of people that had some, and I was like, okay, I'll try these. And it's like, okay, just taking the GRW and SLD, I reduced like about, I don't know, something like 8 inches off my body. I wasn't trying to lose weight, and I don't want to ever lose weight because I know you can find it. But I reduced the weight inches as well, which was really cool. And also my hair. I have a lot of hair anyways, but my hair is like I can pull on it. It's like here. If I take it out the ponytail right now, it's really grown a lot. And the best thing about it for me has been like my kids, because we have older kids and also younger. The younger one's easy. He'll try anything. He loves relax. And crossword, getting back to school, I have this routine where I try to get them into routine, go to bed a certain time. He was just so anxious, and that RLX was so good. He actually wrote a testimonial about it, and his friends were saying, "How come you're not talking?" He goes, "I just want to get to school. I just want to get my work done." And he really was more focused. And their other daughter, who has an asthma and a cough, she doesn't want to take anything. And thank goodness I've been listening to all the different training sessions. Every once in a while, I get to pop in and go to my notes and stuff. And this alt was a lifesaver for her because she has bad allergies too. And then, of course, it's a family affair because my husband, he just asked me, because he just used the last STP because he's a truck driver. And he just asked me, where's the pill? So there's no more. The box is empty. So I've got to order some more of these. So it's really a family affair. And I'm just happy to be able to share this with people because I work in a space where people are like crushing their goals in business, with their real estate and everything else. And just like many of us, they've been neglecting their own health. So now I can offer this to people without me looking for people. It just comes up in conversations. And it's like everybody needs it. And you know what? I pop these into my mouth when I used to just grab a Skittle or a ginger mint, and I'm eating like a lot of these myself just to get that little sugar fix, which is very little. And I love it. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Thank you so much for telling me about these pots, and thank you so much for everybody. I love hearing all the testimonies. I learn something new every time. Cats. Oh my goodness, I gotta tell my friend about the cats now. Testimonial. Thank you.
Well, we were talking about animals yesterday when we were on the Zoom.
Yeah, I didn't know about people giving it to cats too, though. So now I have a real testimonial from someone here. So yay, thank you.
I've heard of like hamsters too. Now, I don't know. I think it's just the water. I think the only animal is going to be hard to get it to would be a fish, but I don't know if that would even work. But anyways.
Well,
Yeah,
here's the true testimonial. This is the cat. You can't see it, it's a bit dark. But this is the one that was going to not be.
Aw.
There you go. How beautiful.
One of the other associates who has a wellness center told us, because I didn't really know about the asthma issues, and he walked in and didn't have his inhaler and didn't know what to do. And they gave one air and one alt, and immediately I think she started with an air, an alt, and then opened the box of air, and it literally stopped his asthma attack on the spot. And he was like, I have never had anything stop my asthma attack, and especially not any of my inhalers. I want 2 boxes of both because I never want to not be without these products, because my inhaler, it's a guessing game whether it works or not. So yeah, being on the calls and just hearing different tidbits and different things, it's totally incredible.
And Air was not with the company when I joined. So Air is relatively new to the company. So we're still discovering different things about it. So I heard Tina Malsom on the call the other day talk about Air and say how it actually helps to prevent infectious diseases as well, which makes sense because it works on the respiratory. I had some really great experience with it with a client of mine. She was using an oxygen tank and was having a really hard time trying to recover from an pneumonia she had. And she has a very weak immune system, and she immediately, after taking the first one, immediately felt relief, like maybe 10 minutes later, and did not use her oxygen tank for the next whole day. And then I gave her some to take home, and she tried it for, I think it was like 3 days. And she goes, okay, I don't know if this is a coincidence, because this is what people say, right? They can't believe that something is so good. And who would believe it? It's a candy. Literally looking at a candy, you're putting it in your mouth and you're thinking, how is this going to heal my lungs? Like, what are you talking about? And sure enough, she stopped, and I said, you should really order some now. You should order some now, so that by the time you are finished, you can get the product, and then you'll be okay. No, I'm just going to see what happens. Okay, fine. You know, that's cool. What are you going to do, right? And sure enough, yep, that's exactly what it looks like. She calls me day 4. She goes, I'm back on the oxygen. And I go, because 3 days is not enough for it to heal your lungs. We still need to take it. Even though you feel healed, you still need to take it a little bit so that it can go to work and, you know, clean up the lungs. And anyways, I'm just saying, like, it can do huge things. Does anybody else have anything to say about Alton Air? Because I'd like to move
Well,
on.
associated with breathing, it's not about Alton Air, but most people, like myself, who suffer from asthma, who suffer from breathing things, you begin to get reflux. Sometimes it's from the medication, sometimes it's your body's reaction. And I suffer really badly with GERD and reflux, to the extent that I will wake up with bile coming out of my mouth. And let me tell you, I took it out here to show you all. This product is incredible. It was faster for me than anything else. It's easy. You suck it. Very often it's hard to swallow when you're having bad reflux. So it's not something a pill you have to swallow. You suck it, and it works within a couple of minutes. So if you're not having a reaction from it straight away, because I know my husband, it takes a bit longer, just be patient. But the results are phenomenal. So if you suffer from reflux, heartburn, acid, GERD, this is miraculous. I'm a Jesus freak. I can say that. This, I believe, is God's gift to me, along with a lot of these other candies, of how to do this and maintain the health that everyone on the rest of the summit was talking about, so we can enjoy our money that we want the freedom for.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And I have quite a few stories, but I wanted to put the ice in there while we were talking about the air.
Because it's important.
And alt.
And it is a great product. It also helps to dissolve gallstones. Little ones. I'm not, because I do know someone who had a very large one. It was like this big. It was like the size of a peach. Okay, I'm not going to say that it's going to help you dissolve that. Maybe not. Maybe it would, but we didn't want to try that. But anyway, sorry. Linda, what did you want to say? Sorry, I like the way she's so polite and puts her hand up.
So I'm just so thankful and blessed for each one of you. Because when I saw this business, I saw the incredible income opportunity, but I saw the incredible health opportunity as well. And my passion was to share it with others. And I shared it with one person, who shared it with one person, who shared it with one person. And every time I get on this summit with Marianne, there's one more person that's sharing about the testimony of the product. Go share it with somebody else. Don't hold on to this, because the money is incredible. And people are praying for these solutions.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think any of us really went into it for the money. I know I didn't. I was talking to Linda, and I was already with another company, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to share another company, but I'll be polite. She seems nice, so I'll listen to her. And then she started speaking my language, and I teach meditation class, and I was just putting together my own meditation for myself to work on my mitochondria, to go deep into the cells. And this is what I was working on. So she says to me, she goes, it's made from the DNA of the plant. And I'm like, what? Say what? It's made from what? What did you say? DNA of what? Say that again. I'm like, I don't think I understood what she said. I think I'm, ADD and my mind's wandering. And she said something and I'm, twisted it up. No, DNA from a plant. And I had just purchased a device that emits negative ions because, of course, our body is full of positive ions. So she says it's 100% absorbable. And I go, it is not, you liar. Like there's nothing is 100% absorbable. Well, if you eat an apple, it's going to be absorbable. Like unless you're so toxic that nothing can get through, it's pretty much absorbable. And so then she says, well, yeah, it's infused with negative ions. And I'm like, what? What is she saying? This girl is either lying or this is the best product in the entire world. I'm not joking. I'm thinking, okay. And then, okay, so that was the conversation. That's what got me. And I'm like, I'm going to have to try this product. That's all there is to it. And I'm like, did she say this was an MLM? I'm like, Linda, is this an MLM? Yeah. Okay. MLMs work like this because I've done enough in my life, probably 30. If not more. And I'm 63. So I really have been around for a long time. And I got to tell you, I feel better at 63 than I did in my 50s or my 40s. I felt pretty good. So, but 50s were starting to like decline. Things were starting to slow down. I'm 63 and I am for sure 100% aging backwards, like absolutely hands down. So she's talking, I'm going, okay, this is an MLM. So I'm going to make some money if I start doing this. And it was December when I got the product. And I'm like, I'm going to give this away at Christmas. I'm going to get the biggest package they have. What did you say about something about diamond? What'd you say? What diamond what? Diamond pack. And there's 5 of every product in there, which is a big deal in itself. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I go, just give me a minute. I want to see if I have which credit card I'm going to use. And she's like, okay, we can talk later. We can talk later this week. I'm like, no, literally give me a minute. I just got to see I got to go into my account to see how much money is left on that credit card. Cause I like these points.
I sometimes need to make a couple calls to do that.
Yeah,
He was like, give me a minute.
And I'm like, no, literally give me a minute. I'm going to just tell you in a minute. As soon as I get into my account, I'm going to see how much is left. And if I can use this credit card, because it was travel points. Ha ha ha. And, I'm like,
Little
wow.
did she know she was going to win all the trips that she is.
And so it was December when I got my product, December, maybe a week into December. And I thought, perfect, I'm going to give everyone, they're all used to getting health products from me anyways. And I still give everyone, even the girls, I give them product for Christmas. I don't care. I'm going to be here to help you with your health. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you think you want to be sick. I'm going to help you be healthy, period. End of story. And they're all like, okay, which product are we getting this year? And so, that's kind of fun. And I'm like, okay, let's do this. And then I just started talking to people and I said, look, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to sign people up. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to work websites. I go, it's going to take me a long time to sign someone up. I go, but I'm talking to some people. It's a busy time. I'm finishing up a book, whatever. And sure enough, it was like, no, we'll help you. We'll help you sign up people. So all I did was Linda, Julia, Linda, Julia, Linda, Julia. And all of a sudden I had like 10 people signed up. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. We're into January. And I don't know if it was Linda or Julia said, you qualified for the cruise. And I'm like, what? What cruise? Oh yeah, the cruise that we talked about, because they had started in November. And I was like, oh, wow, that's great. And they're like, well, you have 1 spot, so you can keep going and you can have 2 spots. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So I think it was mid-February when I won the second thing or something like that. I can't remember. When do they usually end? Did it end that time in February or March?
You have to remember when we first started, it was in the middle of COVID. So we didn't have to put the cruises off for a couple years. So we're still trying to figure out the timeline, or at least I am. So anyway.
Yeah. So all of a sudden I had won the cruise and I'm like, won? Like the cruise? And they're like, yeah, it's a 7-day cruise or whatever it was to Dubai. And I'm like, Dubai? That wasn't even on my bucket list. I'm like, oh, like who knows when I'll get to Dubai. And all of a sudden I had a free cruise. Dubai, Abu Dhabi. Where's my Sex and the City girls? You know, in Abu Dhabi, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go on a cruise. This is so much fun. So we did. So we went on a cruise. Now we extended. I think we all extended it by a few days. I think we extended it by about 4 days, and it was so much fun. And that was my first trip, and that's how it happened. So yeah, free trips, and you know, you can make so much money here if that's your focus. You know, if you want to help people feel better and you want to make money doing it, then look, it's Earth. We need money. I have mortgages, I have bills, we all have things. We need the money. The money has to happen. We have to do some stuff for the money, even though I didn't start thinking that way. And then, of course, if you're living in the US, you get this wonderful product behind me. We don't yet have it in Canada, but we will one day. And we do go to the US a lot, so you can always get it there. But what a beautiful product. It is 100% natural. It is in glass bottles, and not just any glass. It is Venetian glass, people. Venetian. If you're going to have glass and you want a high vibe, that's what it is. And yes, I did actually thank you, Nikki, for bringing up BRN, because I really wanted to talk about BRN because we are having some killer results. It is amazing. I have a client whose sister hasn't been able to speak with her for 2 years because she has advanced Alzheimer's. And there's the brain. And she now, after taking 3 of these a day, she sat down with her the other day for 2 hours, and other day she sat down with her for 5 hours. They reminisced about their childhood and where they lived. They're from another country. They're from Indonesia. She was saying different areas where they lived, where they went to play here, where this relative lived, the other one. Like, that's a lot of memory coming back. And I'm not saying that it's going to take away your dementia. I don't think that's necessarily the case. And there's other aspects of dementia that you need to focus on, things like you need to stay very hydrated. Like, you can't be walking around being dehydrated. It only makes your memory worse. And then there's other things that cause a lot of brain fog, like being diabetic or menopause or just aging, period. Although I do have to say that aging backwards with this company is super easy. At least that's how I feel, but I want other people to talk about their experience. Yes, she's also taking the LFT now, but the LFT is now newish. So we brought that in recently, but just the BRN was helping her a lot. But with the LFT, which is a stem cell regenerator and a telomere extender, for those of you who don't know what telomeres are, so if you picture the shoelace being like a nerve and the little plastic thing at the end being like a telomere, telomeres shorten as we get older, and people who have dementia will have very, very short telomeres. It's just their telomeres are moving really rapidly. And so this product helps. I'm going to let someone else speak who would like to speak more. I know Nikki wants to say something about BRN for sure.
I really do. And I know we haven't heard much from Rosemary, but brain, we are all going through a stage where, and Marianne will be able to tell you more about this than I can, where with the way the planets are and everything's going, and full moon tomorrow, it does affect our moods. It does affect our clarity. But also with the change of seasons, things change. And brain, I have experienced the benefit of brain, not for myself, but somebody very close to me suffers with bipolar. And it is blatantly obvious the days that they take brain and the days they don't. And the thing with the brain is you can keep taking it through the day. It's not like your other medications where okay, now I've got to wait this many hours. So I have found that, and we do have other products that work for anxiety and that, but brain, the days you need to focus, the days you just need more clarity, you don't have to be somebody with Alzheimer's for this to benefit you. I believe this benefits everybody because we all want to be functioning at our next level. And brain brings that clarity. People who are suffering with depression and have that brain fog, the brain fog you get when you're on cortisone for asthma, all of those things, it is blatantly obvious. And if you're a kid and you have to write an exam, it's not going to give you the answers, but it's going to help you process them a lot better. So, no, you still have to study, but you can suck these amazing candies while you're studying.
Yes, we have a few more minutes. So if anyone else wants to say anything about brain, I'm just going to say this. Both my parents had Alzheimer's, and everyone, doctors included. Oh, you have to be careful. You have to be careful because you could get it. You're probably going to get it. You're probably susceptible. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not getting it. And you're not getting into my head. I'm not allowing you to visit my head and dictate what I'm going to think about. No, thank you. So anybody else want to comment on the brain product? I know Amanda uses it. Go for
So
it.
some of you may or may not know, I was in a car accident, so I have an acquired brain injury. So for me, some days that means either I'm too hyper focused on something or not enough. And that's a common thing with brain injury. And so I take the BRN, and a lot of people know I do editing, publishing, book writing. So when I really need to focus on my task, my writing, I definitely take the BRN, and it's day and night. And Marianne always knows when I'm not taking my BRN. She always knows. And so I will say that is one of the other products that I actually really enjoy, because it does bring you back and give you that clarity that you need when there's, and we live in a really busy world where there is constant distractions around us, and we don't mean to get distracted, but it does happen. So for people that are easily distracted, that's a great product. I've had really good experiences with that. And I find like it works pretty for quite a few hours. So for me, I can take one in the morning and it lasts pretty well all day. And I might take another one if I'm working a very long day, but generally I love that product, and it tastes good too. That's the other thing about that one. I like that flavor. It's very unique.
Tastes like coffee. And this is the perfect complement, right? The LFT with the stem cell regeneration and telomere extender. I mean, to have that in a candy, come on, like really. So awesome. If anyone has any final words, we are really tight for time. And I see that one of my favorite coaches of mine from Think and Grow Rich Institute, Satish Verma, is here. And he's going to be speaking. He's scheduled for 1 o'clock. So if anyone has any final words for APLGO products, I know we all love SLD. I know we all love all the products. We just don't have time to talk about all of them. I know Tammy has some excellent results with the GRW, and I believe she used SLD with that. I don't know how she did it, but she did it. She lost weight. Like, I don't even know how she did that, but she lost weight with those two products. So how beautiful is that? We do have a weight loss one, but we need to leave something for next time. And because we have not that much time, I see you holding up the BTY.
I'm just going to say, if you want to keep your hair growing fast, if you want to see changes in your skin, go for it. You don't need thousands of dollars worth of serums and all the rest. Beauty is amazing. Give it a try. What have you got to lose? That's my quick plug for beauty.
Yeah, beauty's great for collagen, and not just, I mean, for your ligaments and tendons as well, not just for your skin, but it does help your hair grow. And it helps. I find that menopause makes your hair drier, and I find that it helps to make it silkier. And with grow, also helps your nails and hair to grow. as well as it's boosting your immune system. And so with that, I think we will put APLGO on hold. So if you have any further questions, please connect with me, or if you feel so inspired, please connect with any of the other ladies. And with that,